Well, hey folks, this is Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the man cave. Now this is the radio rates and CG video of the top RC Swift sent to me by FPV Builds and Tech up in Babylon, West Babylon, New York. Thank you, Anthony, for the plane. This was my early Christmas present for doing reviews for it, and I do appreciate it. Hey, hold on just a second, folks. All right. My daughter came home and had to let her through. Well, anyways, all right, very simple build. You watched the unboxing and build video. Now, one thing you'll need to do is before you put the wings on, use a servo tester and make sure that your elevator is lined up perfectly. Well, hold on. Pause for just a second. Let's go back for just a minute. While I got her on the CG stand, all right? CG is 60 to 80 millimeters back from the leading edge of the wing, okay? As you can see, she's balanced there perfectly. And to show you, to give you some landmarks, if you look underneath the wing here, you see these plastic covers. That first corner is 16 millimeters back. The second dot is 80 millimeters back from the leading edge of the wing. That is with an 1800 4S. You can put an 18 up to a 1400 or an 18 up to a 2200. And there may be larger, but you're not going to be able to fit much else. But with an 1800, putting my fingers right there, she pretty well CG just about perfect right there. Now to show you where that translates to inside, okay, pretty much the only place you can put it. Now you could, there's little cutouts here, as you can see right there. If you'll put your 1800 starting at those little cutouts right there and back, she's going to CG. You want to put the flat side of the battery down, not this way, but the flat side down. I've got an AR-410 antenna-less receiver back in there, back kind of on back on that wooden tray, and that way I shouldn't have any problem with signal because there's nothing really around it per se. There are carbon fiber spars that go down the side, but it's away from that, and you might want to tighten that screw up in there to tighten up that locking mechanism. But that gives you some room up front to let that cooling come through. I did put a little piece of Velcro there to lock that in, and that locks in there. But 60 to 80 millimeters back, and that puts it right there. Okay, now that's where you're going to put the battery. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is make sure, like I was getting ready to say, as you see there's two protrusions there, bulges there on either side. Make sure that that elevator is lined up. Now there's a Allen head wrench on top of that servo. Where's the tool that I used? Oh, right here. Okay. And it takes a 1.5 hex drive to make that linkage adjustable where you can adjust the elevator up or down. So I just loosened it up inside there, and then got those lined up with those bulges there. Got the elevators lined up with those bulges, then tighten it back down. The other thing I had to do is the channel that the rudder lines in, the steel rod that runs through there, had some glue down in it, and I could not get my rudder to work at all. So I took undid the servo arm, took a pair of needle nose pliers, okay, got that rod, grabbed it, and just kind of moved it back and forth, and finally that glue broke, and I had full control of my elevator, or my rudder then. Okay, these are just things you want to do before you finally anchor her down. Once I knew that was good, then I bolted down. We already saw that the motor worked right, and anchored them down. Now I'm just going to be, the rudder was reversed right off the bat, but now it's fine. And now I got full movement on everything. Full movement on elevator. Now you say, well, that's not much on the elevator. But that whole thing is moving. That entire surface is moving. Okay, so you don't really need much. Alright? You're going to want that much gap. See there's some gap in the elevator there? You can probably see it better from this side. But when you put them in, slide them in there, make sure that you remove the little screws here. Take them out, take them little plastic pieces out, and slide your elevator onto the square spar, and you should have about maybe a 1/4 inch of space on either side, and then screw them. But don't shove them, because I shoved mine too far and I broke the spar actually came out through the foam. So just make sure you kind of fit it in there, and then anchor it, put them screws back in there and anchor them back down. My rates are going to be one rate, 100% throws with 30% expo. So that's ailerons, that's elevator, and that's rudder. Okay. Now while we've got it here, I want you to listen to the motor for a second. All right. I've got about maybe. All right. Look, I'm starting to move up on my throttle right now. Okay, so I got a little bit of variance there before the throttle kicks in. That means my ESC is not calibrated. I want immediate response, not a hesitation before anything kicks in. That key is kind of hard to get the lid off there. So I'm going to show you how to calibrate your ESC if I can get that. Locks in there pretty tight. All right, so what you do, you want to unplug your motor. Okay. Make sure your throttle would be on. Move your throttle all the way up to full throttle. Okay. And when I plug it back in, it's going to realize it's in programming mode. As soon as I hear 2 beeps, I want to pull that throttle all the way down.
Timer stop.
Okay. 4 cell count. All right. The 2 beeps at the top recorded the upper range of the throttle, and then then when I pulled it all the way down, you heard 2 more beeps, and that recorded the lowest range. So that now I should have immediate throttle response, and I do. So now because otherwise, if I had not done that, I would have been losing about 15% throttle response, and I wouldn't have gotten the performance out. I want immediate throttle response. Okay, that way it's recorded the lowest, and the highest. Okay, if that makes any sense at all. There's very little room. An 1800 really is going to be about perfect for this thing. Should get about probably about 3.5 to 4 minutes of flight time out of that, and that is the Swift. Okay, got an 11-bladed fan. She should be pretty much a rocket ship. My biggest problem is going to be this little, I want to say it's got a 1.4 meter wingspan, or 1400 millimeters. I'm going to lose her quick in the sky. So we're going to have to keep her in tight and keep her in, and she's going to be fast. Belly lander, obviously, but everything is protected. You've got metal back here, a metal skid plate, all plastic protecting here, plastic here, all plastic on the belly. So we're not going to have any problem there with marring or damaging the belly, because you got plenty of protection. Interesting enough, all the servos are metal, 9-gram metal geared servo, not a hybrid, complete metal geared servo. So I've got really good response. You've got, look at them spars, look at them wings. Okay, you've got structure all the way through here. You've got the great big spar down the middle. You've got carbon fiber spars going line the wing here and on the ailerons themselves. Okay, the elevator has the entire control surface moves on a big honking square carbon fiber spar that makes the whole thing move. If you look sideways, look inside that tail. Okay, if you can see the shadow, you've got carbon fiber lining that rudder. So this is a very stiff plane. Okay, so this is meant for speed. This is meant for speed, and it fits together nice and tight. I did notice that on the there's a little bit of differential. Look at them elevators. See how are the ailerons? See how they're slightly up on either end? They're slightly up here, here, and here. That's a little bit of differential. That's going to help with stability. Okay, it's just a touch. It's if you look down the front there, you may be able to tell. If you look, this is up just a touch and this is up just a touch. That's just a small amount of differential. You can kind of see it, and that will help with the stability. Okay, either that or it's really out of trim. A little bit, but it's not really that bad. It's just a touch. They're up. They're still both up a little bit. Let's see if I can't just even them out where they're both up the same amount, because there's a little bit of mechanical differential there. Okay, you can kind of see it now. Okay, see how they're up just a touch. Look at the back of them ailerons where they reach. Okay, see how they're up just a touch? That's a little bit of mechanical differential, and that'll help with stability. Okay, all right. All we got left to do now is give you a maiden. Timer will be set for, I'm probably putting 4 minutes right off the bat. You know what? I'll be conservative. I'll put 3.5 minutes for the first timer, check the battery, and see how it goes. I'm going to run her on an 1800 because that just feels best for this small of a plane. And like I said, 60-80 is on the CG. If you want a landmark that you can feel, you feel the back corner of the servo cover, and then put your finger back about a quarter inch or about a half inch behind that, and that gives you perfect CG. That puts it about 70 millimeters back from the leading edge. So she's balanced good. She's very rigid, so she should fly pretty quick. I mean, 4-cell in this small of a plane, and she, you know what she reminds me of? She feels a lot like the Durafly Excalibur, and that how hard and rigid she feels. Also, it's the same dimensions of the E-Flight Crescendo. Okay, so but EDF. Now the other thing about anytime you have an EDF on top or a motor on top, what do you think is going to happen if I'm flying along with that motor up there? Okay, you're flying along level, looks like that, right? That's level. If I goose the throttle, what's going to happen? It's going to want to dive on me. Okay, so if you really want to get slick or swift, you could do a little bit of a mix with a throttle. Maybe when you get your throttle, you goose the throttle, that you do just a little bit of up elevator mix whenever you goose it. I won't do that. I'll just do it by feel. But so the way to avert that or to avoid that is, instead of goosing it, give it more of a. So look at that. Look what happens. See, it's automatically wanting to go down. So if I ease into the throttle, it'll be easier for me to handle. Now, she's got lots of thrust. In fact, I think it's better than 1-for-1. And I can tell that by, if she holds still in my hands, then it's 1-for-1. That's what I've been told. Now, I might be wrong. But if she still wants to climb, then she's better than that. So let's see. Yeah. Definitely better than 1-for-1. So she's going to be, sorry if that blew your speakers out. She's going to be a rocket ship. She's going to be fast. For this size of the plane, she's going to be fast. Well, folks, thank you for watching. That is the Top RC Swift, sent to me by FBB Builds and Tech up in West Babylon, New York, for my early Christmas present for me being his reviewer. And I really appreciate it. I can't wait to fly it. I just want to get her out. And this is just one of them, throw it in the sky and have some fun kind of planes. I shouldn't have to think too much about it. Just enjoy it. Just remember, when you give a gooser, she's going to go dive on you. So be prepared for that. All right, folks. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless you. God is good. And that is the Top RC Swift from FPV Builds and Tape. Thank you, folks. Have a good Christmas and have good holidays. And God bless each and every one of you all. Bye-bye.